Hi guys, this is Frenchie, and you know that color separation is the holy grail for us colorists. This is what makes our image have some depth and will send it to the next level. When color separation is not introduced by any lighting tricks or art direction, it's in our hands, us colorists, to create this depth in the image. What are our options to build this color separation? I will show you how to use to your advantage the color harmony groups and the color separation. For those who don't know me, I'm Chloe and I'm a freelance colorist that works on mostly commercials. I work with multiple brands, and after years of practicing, I just want to share with you my best tips for color grading. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. You can also follow me on Instagram if you want to see my daily life as a colorist. Okay, to understand color separation, let's have like some basics in color theory. And we're gonna start with color harmony groups. So color harmony is just a grouping of hues that will be visually pleasing to the human eye. So there are three main harmony groups that are usually used by colorists. The first one is monochromatic. So it only uses a single key hue, and the only modification that will happen will come from the change of luminosity or the change of saturation of this hue. So for example, on our vectorscope in Davinci, a monochromatic image would look like this. So you only have one line. So the second harmony group that is quite used is the analogous group. So analogous are hues next to each other that are found out by a middle hues. If you see, for example, on a vectorscope, that would form a sort of a cone. So in these two color harmony groups, monochromatic and analogous, the color separation would be introduced more by luminosity and saturation, but this we're gonna talk about it in the second part of the video. The most important right now that I want to focus on is actually the complementary color. So this is the third harmony group that is the most used actually. So complementary colors is pretty useful for us because this is what's going to bring us the most color separation out of our image. So it takes a key hue and complements it to an opposite hue on the wheel. Because of taking the opposite color on the wheel, it will create straight away a high contrast in the image and then make the image stand out way more. So in the vectorscope, if you see, the color harmony groups looks like this. It's like a line that's actually cross the vectorscope. So because the complementary color harmony group is bringing us a lot of color separation, I'm going to show you how to make it in Davinci Resolve. Okay, so guys, we are in the timeline and we're going to see how to make a color complementary group very easily. I want you to change your scopes to a vector scope, so now you can see like the effect of what we're going to do on our image. Also, in my project settings, so you can go here for project settings, this is the wheel. In my project settings, in color management, I am with my camera log as an input color space. This camera is in S-Log 3. And I'm working in a timeline color space in Davinci Wide Gamut. So this is just like to let you know. So what we're going to do to create color separation is using the split toning. So we're just gonna label this split tone. For split toning, if you didn't see my tutorial on split toning, I really recommend the tutorial because I explain it very well inside. But if you haven't seen my tutorial, don't worry, it's actually a pretty easy concept. Split toning is the fact to separate colors in either your shadows, your midtones, and your highlights. So what we are interested in this image to create separation, we like a bit of cyan inside the shadows. To create this cyan is pretty easy. you're gonna create a point. So first, sorry, you need to unlink your YRGB. So you unlink this, and you're gonna click on the red, and you're gonna create a point on your linear curve. And we're gonna start to create this point as an anchor, and create another point to put some blues and greens inside our shadows. So we can go like very intense, and we're gonna balance out with the green and the blue. So we do the same on the green. I'm gonna create an anchor, and I'm gonna just go down, and now it gives some blues in my shadows. And now I'm just gonna go to the blues to balance it out and go down. Okay, we are just trying also to keep an eye on our curve, and if you see, when I move my red way over, I create a longer complementary color, but it needs to stay believable in our footage. So then, like, look at the vector scope, look the effect that it has, but also control what you are doing watching the image. So I think I'm gonna go to this base. Okay, so for example, this split tone, if I disable it, which is Command D, so if you can see the effect of the split tone on the vector scope. So first we had a lot of orange and red in the hues, right? And so what we created is actually this line that we wanted to make the colors a bit more separated, having a line of orange and having a line of blues here, I mean cyan. So then what we are doing now is, after that we have made our base of split toning, we can create more separation with the warmth of the image, which will make the skin tone more believable, because for the moment this is very green. So then, like, we're just gonna balance this out. So I'm just gonna create a parallel, because I might need to do secondaries in my parallel here. But before the split tone, I'm gonna create a node. So to create a node before is Shift S, and this is gonna be my balance. Okay, my backends, my balance. And so when I created my balance, I can just like go here, and I think I'm just gonna create some warmth with my temp. I create some warmth, and let's see, a bit of tint, I would say, a tiny bit of tint, yes. Already the skin tones are a bit more believable because there's less green going on. Okay, what we can do also is add a bit of lift. We can add a bit of lift, so we just like have a nice contrast. So we're gonna pump up his skin just to create a bit more separation and to make his skin tone natural. So for this, I use the color wrapper, so you can just click on this spider web, and I'm just gonna expand this, and I'm gonna see where his skin is. And so in the color wrapper, you can see there's a pointer that appears when I put my mouse on the color. His skin is in the orange scope, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it and increase it. And I think I'm just gonna pump it up a bit more and have a nice skin coming. Yeah, so if you see, let's see, this is before, so the skin like wasn't very alive, and this is after. So this is after we put a bit more colors in the skin. So this is actually a complementary color group because we went to opposite colors over here. So what I can show you is what we went from. First, you know, we had our gamma mapping, and we started to introduce some separation with the split tone. So then like by the split tone, what we done is actually removing reds mostly from the shadows, and we balance it out by removing also a bit of blue and a bit of green. And so after in the balance, so if you see, so this is the balance, we created a bit of contrast by putting down our lift, and also we added a bit of warmth just like to make everything comes together. And so for the skin, we just found that like the skin was quite dead, so just to pump up the skin and to make it a bit more alive. So for me, this technique is actually the most convenient to create color complementary groups inside my image. You can also do the complementary colors with a film print because out of the bat you already have like cyan shadows. This technique is if, for example, you don't want to use a film print. So this works very well for me. I hope it will work for you. Let's go to the tips 2. Okay, now that we saw the complementary color being so effective in the color separation very instantly, I want to show you how to create separation but with color saturation. So actually color saturation could be a really great ally to create some separation in your footage. Most of the time when we are watching at a film stock, the colors are rich and dark. It is because before the digital era, most of the films were printed traditionally using the film, the ink, and metal plates. The color model that we use for printing is called CMYK and is subtractive. It means that when we add color together, it becomes richer and darker. The color method is absorbing lights and help us to create depth in the image. In the digital space, we are working in a RGB color model. Unfortunately, our RGB color model is additive. It is because as we are on the screen is projecting a light, and the red is one light, the green is one light, the blue is one light. So that means that if we add lights together, it would become lighter and lighter to become white. So our strategy to introduce color separation into our image is to imitate a subtractive color model. So this technique is particularly handy, especially for color harmony groups like analogous and monochromatic groups, because you don't have color separation out of the bat like the complementary colors. This is what we're gonna see together in the next tutorial. Okay guys, so now we are with our monochromatic footage. As you can see, if you see in the vector scope, we only have like one single key hue, which is right now like in between the blue and the green. What we want to do is to create separation without altering the monochromacity of this image. So if you see, it has been shot this way. It was meant to be monochromatic, so we're gonna respect what has been shot on set, but we're gonna try to create more depth into the image. So to do this, first on this one we should start with balancing our footage. So we're just gonna create our balance. So we're just gonna add a bit of lift and a bit of gain, just like to see our characters. So already we have a bit of color separation, not color separation, but separation happening. So now we're gonna play with the density to create separation out of this image. So we're gonna create a parallel. So for this is option P, and we're just gonna label that density, or actually HSV. HSV is better. For this is the well-known technique of going to another color space in your node to create dense colors. The HSV color space is actually pretty handy because when you saturate all the colors in this color space, these colors are becoming darker and more saturated. So this is exactly what we want. So I create my node and I'm going to right click, go to color space and go to HSV. HSV means hue, saturation and vibrancy, and actually I only want out of this color space the saturation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my channels and I'm going to disable channel 1, which is the hues, and I'm going to disable channel 3. So I'm only with the saturation in this node. So for having richer colors and more saturated colors, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my gain. So when I raise my gain, it saturates my image, but at the same time it makes my colors a bit deeper. So this is before and this is after. Before and after. So I think I can go a bit further. So if you see in my vector scope, my blue line is starting to be very big. Before it was like this after we balanced the image, and now it's a very big line. So I'm quite happy actually with the saturation right now. And what I'm gonna do is, because I don't really like this greenish tint, I'm just gonna go back to my balance and I'm gonna remove some temperature. So I'm gonna make it bluer. So if you see, it just turned my single key into the wheel without actually expanding the spectrum. And I'm just gonna add a bit of tint, which then like also move my blue around. And so yeah, that's it for me, guys. So this is like where we were, and this is our final. In this I like it because then like I can really identify where my characters are, and also like having this kind of pleasing look coming out of this image. Of course, for this kind of image you can make more effects for it. For example, like I would go straight away with vignettes, just like because I like when everything is quite dense. So just to make the focus a bit more on my dancers, what I would do is actually making this kind of vignette, so it makes it a bit more going to the center, you know. So this is actually the HSV for the monochromatic. So this was with a monochromatic color harmony group. What I want to show you is with a color harmony group that is analogous. So this footage is analogous, if you see, because it has a sort of a cone forming into the colors. I just done a balance, if you see, of just lift and gain, that's all. So this was the original image. This is what we have. So it's already like making a bit of separation going on. And so what I want to do is actually showing you the HSL coupled with the HSV. So first we're just gonna do the same as what we've done with our monochromatic color group. So the node label is going to be HSV, and I want to create a node before that's going to be HSL. And so this HSL is going to be the same principle. We're going to go to HSL color space, and we're going to go to disable channel 1 and channel 2 because we want just the saturation. So what I'm going to do is actually go up with my gain in my HSV, and also go up in my gamma. And in HSL, I'm gonna go down in my gamma, and it's gonna create for me some density. So if you see, so we have less saturation, but we have darker colors happening. So we can push the gun a bit more with HSV and go up a tiny bit more, so we have nice color contrast happening. So for example, if I remove HSL and HSV, this is what we had just with the balance, and this is what I have now with HSL and HSV. So the result is a bit more subtle, but it becomes a bit more darker in certain areas of the image, which makes it a bit more cinematic. So if you see, let's just push the gun again a bit more, so gamma with HSV, and we just control it with the gamma in HSL, and we are actually pretty good. So this is just the balance, and this is HSV and HSL. It makes a result that is actually very pleasing, and this is actually how you can create color separation in an analogous color space, but also in the monochromatic color space. Color models, guys, sorry. But yes, my point is you can use the HSV technique by itself, which is great, but if you want to be a bit more subtle with the saturation and the density, you can use the couple of HSL and HSV. Okay guys, I hope this video helped you in your look development, and that will make you more confident to dare some grades that use, for example, monochromatic colors, you know, because I think it's quite fun to not really have a style, but being very versatile, you know. So yes, the easiest way for color separation is of course the complementary colors, and I feel that, for example, in this moment of my career, I really like to experiment now with analogous and monochromatic. That's why actually I wanted to make this video, because I'm starting to shift to this kind of color space and start to find some ways to create some depth in my image with these color groups, you know. So pretty interesting, you know. I hope it helped, and I can't wait to see you for a next video.